That very issue on Midday Live. We've been joined in the studio by the Vice President of the Polytechnic Teachers Association of Ghana, the Accra Poly branch. Good afternoon, Mr. Ntiamo. Thanks for joining us. And also with him is a Secretary, Wowie Brown. Did I get it right? David Wowie Brown. All right. Good afternoon. You heard the Minister say, the Deputy Minister saying that indeed last year was paid in September, and so you have no case whatsoever to strike.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you and your viewers. Last year we were paid in September, but that is not supposed to be the case. Academic year begins in September, so the book and research allowance is supposed to be paid at the beginning of the academic year. The one that is supposed to be paid in September was supposed to have been paid last year September, so it's 1 year already in arrears. So in September they are supposed to pay us last year's book and research, and then 2014, 2015. So it's supposed to be true. So the minister got it wrong. It is not true that what they are paying in September is the one that is due. It is meant for the last year's academic year.
Right, but they have made a commitment, at least. They have told you that they will pay in September. Why not listen to them and go back to the classroom? Then when in September it doesn't happen, then you have cause to lay your tools down.
Thank you very much. When we met the minister on Monday, I was there. And the minister made no mention of our book and research. She said that POTAG, please go back to the classroom because government doesn't have money. In fact, that is what the minister told us. So we are surprised to hear the deputy minister also saying that they have made a commitment. No commitment has been made as we speak. In fact, we were even waiting for the government to give us a written commitment that by September we'll pay, and then we shall consider calling off the strike. All right,
David. Academic calendar obviously have been disrupted.
Yeah.
What's the plan now? You still stay out?
Yes, my sister. You know, if government doesn't make any commitment of paying the book and research, we're going to stay out. The reason is simple. All along, we never intended to go on strike. We were looking forward to government calling us, telling us that if government even had said that we do not have money, what is the plan?
But you just heard the minister say,
they're not telling us. Because sometime last 3 months, the deputy minister said that, oh, we have the money is available. They wanted to move the money to a national research fund, which they were proposing, which meeting they never invited us to attend to discuss the issues. And this has been the case. We were waiting for government, call us, tell us that, yes, we know we are owing you, we do not have the money now. What is the way forward? Let's all agree as to when the payment will be made. As my colleague rightly said, government is in arrears for 1 year. We are crying for 2013, 2014. Yeah. And he's talking of September. September 2014, 2015 should be paid because we need to buy our books and we need to start the research as and when we're teaching. But they always will wait, and these are its disadvantages. Assuming somebody goes on retirement in July, the person's name will be taken off the payroll. It means that the person is not going to have his book and research.
I mean, that's a peculiar issue you're mentioning. Yeah. That is not to suggest that you will retire in September or anything. But then again, it comes back to the same points that government will eventually pay. No. But the students will not get the losses, will they?
Oh, no, government has not made any commitment to pay. You see,
I'm saying that eventually government will pay.
No, they don't intend to pay. That statement the minister made is very strange because they said that they are transferring that money to the National Research Fund, which is very strange. So why is he saying that he's paying? It's contradictory.
Okay, so I remember government had come out to say that they wanted to scrap. I think yes, that also became a very big issue. Is that the reason why you do not trust the minister's words?
That's one of the reasons. The truth of the matter is that government never told us about the payment of our book and research allowance. Government never met us to tell us they were going to pay. They said they were going to put those monies into the National Research Fund. And the National Research Fund and the book and research are two different things. The book allowance is separate from research allowance.
Educate me.
Now, the book allowance is to buy books. As lecturers, we need to update ourselves. New editions of books, materials are coming up. We are giving these allowances to be able to have access to those books, to be able to revise our notes. The research allowance has to do.
You don't pick it from the internet. I mean, so I just.
But even you still have to pay. The internet still have to pay. Some of the you need to pay online. And now, if we're talking about research allowance, as a lecturer, you need to research. You are promoted based on your research. And so, this 400 Ghana, the research allowance, 400 Ghana cedis for a whole year.
So each lecturer is paid 400 Ghana cedis for a whole year.
For research.
And the book?
And the book is 1,500.
1,500. So a year you're getting 1,900 cedis for research.
No, it's $1,500.
Oh, it's in dollars?
Yes, because the books normally you pay in dollars.
It's expensive. If you go to amazon.co.uk, it's very expensive to buy.
So last year, government didn't pay. So last year, you didn't buy any books. So why should government
pay? They paid. You see, what happened was that the government planned or decided to unilaterally take off the book and research and put it in the National Research Fund, which they did not invite us. So what we are saying is that now, if you want to set a national research, it is called National Research Fund. My sister, you can apply. The studios, everybody in TV3 is entitled to apply. Why should
That's totally out of what the lecturers.
Why should we be the only ones to fund it? In any case, the book and research has two components. We have the book component and the research component. So it makes sense that even in the extreme scenario, government can rather take, okay, you give us the research one and then keep the book. You get me? In the extreme scenario, why do you, if you are setting a national research, why do you have to put book and research into that fund?
All right.
Why not the only
I want to make this interview very personal. I want to know, what do you teach?
I teach taxation.
Taxation?
Yes.
So when was the last time you bought a book on taxation?
Oh, just...
On which book?
I bought a book just last 2 weeks. That book was made by Francis Akoto. He works at the GRA. I bought the book.
That book is in cedis, but government is paying in dollars.
Yes, because you see that when the negotiations took place, I wasn't there at the time, so I don't know the rationale for making it dollars. But that's what it stays now. That is what is in the condition of service. So.
All right. Yesterday, I mean, some of your students hit the streets, which was illegal. They were prevented by the police, and they were agitated. But rightly, so the police needed to stop them. What are you telling them? You know, I'm sure they are frustrated. They want their lecturers back to the classroom.
Yeah, but the first you say it's illegal. Is it illegal to go on demonstration? Is that
it's not? But you have to go to the police. You map out your routes.
Beautiful.
So it's illegal.
Okay, maybe the route. Okay,
it's illegal.
Okay, well, fine. Maybe if that's the definition of being it illegal. We never wanted it this way, and that's why we've been delayed. And our students, we have told our students our plight, and they understand our issues. And for me, it looks as if maybe government is not trying to come for us to sit down and talk. We've always told government, let's sit and talk. Government never invited us. And that has been our problem. And so if the police saw it to be illegal to stop the students, yeah, that's one side of it. But
as teachers, you can also appeal to them. I mean, yes, you're fighting for something that would aid your teaching and learning, make teaching and learning very conducive. But at the same time, you can speak to
something
students.
I've been contemplating. And I want to make this known. Maybe the government wants us to go the Canadian way. For Canada to develop the education, so for people to be earning well. You know what happened? They agitated for a rise. And government said we do not have. So the teachers started teaching strange things. You go to the child is taught that a banana is pineapple. So the child goes home and says a banana. He says, so it's pineapple. The mother says, no, this is banana. The child says, no, my teacher says it's pineapple. Then it was then that the government realized that education was very crucial and they have to pay attention to lecturers. We don't want to go that way.
All right. And neither do I think that it's even. I mean, it makes sense to retool everything. But I want to go to the University Teachers Association of Ghana. Okay. They have agreed to have their monies put in the research fund. Why not POTAG?
That's not true. I mean, it's not true. As we speak, UTAG is supposed to be in a mediation with government. For 1 month, they have not been called because we called the POTAG UTAG secretary, and he confirmed that government has not even invited them to the mediation. You see, so it's the same allowance. If we win, it affects them.
And you are this is day what 13? How many days have we been striking?
50 days.
50
days. Yeah. And it was only last Monday that the ministers found it necessary to invite us. And when he invited us, he said that, it's because the student had come to their office to plead. That's the reason he was calling us. It's strange.
Right.
You see, for 50 days, we were not invited to discuss any.
I wanted to make a point. The difference between this research and the National Research Fund.
Yes,
you see, if I'm to be promoted based on research, then I must not be prevented from doing research free will. I must be given the research allowance to be able to do research because my promotion, which inures to the benefit of increased salary, comes from the research. But if you're putting it into the National Research Fund, I may apply. I may not get, because government may say that we do not have money, so many people have applied, and it means my promotion will be stalled. And these are some of the things we should look into. So for me, I've always made a stand and said that if government will say that I'm not going to promote you based on research, I'll promote you based on the number of years you've served, I have no qualms. Government can take the research allowance away. I don't have any problem with that. But once, as long as my research is what inures to my promotion, which increase salary, then government must, it must be attached to this, which has been part of our conditions of service
since 1996.
Yes, but it doesn't mean that you cannot review it.
Yes,
the problem is not about review.
To you, Mr. Ntiamwa, okay, now the stance is, until government pays, you're not going back to the classroom. Day 50, that's scary.
Oh, they call us
15, but day 50, that's scary. What then is the next step? You've heard the minister say it. Have you tried to approach them, the ministry?
Oh, several times.
No, I'm talking about yesterday. We've spoken to the minister, so you heard him today. Today is a different day.
Yes. What we intend to do, in fact, on Monday we are going to court. You know, the matter is before the law court. So on Monday we will meet in the law courts, and the judge will decide whether the strike indeed was illegal or was legal. So let's wait until that time. Maybe when we meet on Monday and the judge takes a decision, we will be able to know the way forward.
But have you been paid?
Yes, we've been paid, because until the court says the strike is legal, anybody who decides not to pay us is flouting the law.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time. Thank you very much. You're watching David and then Mr. Ntiamwa. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio. It's Midday Live on TV3. You've heard their concerns. They're not going back to the classroom until the book and research allowance is paid, and it's $1,500 a year for books and 400 for research, 400 CDs for research. Stay with us here on TV3. There's more ahead.